had 3 copies in his main deck of Big Red, and that seemed fine. I'm not sure why we would want Goblin Rabblemaster in there, but I think Jace and a Blue Moon Shell will be pretty natural. We actually have a Blue Moon Jace Shell in the donation docket for later this week. You know what? I'm going to be really lazy here. I'm just going to put this on my screen to make up for the fact that other thing isn't working, because I'm not debugging why it's not working for now, so let's just ghetto it. Let's make it a Salon with the $4.99 a month subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. That'll work for now. Cloud Post. This is probably a bad matchup for us. These decks are supposed to prey on decks like what we're playing here. No, we're never playing Lantern on this stream again for less than like 4 digits worth of money. Huh. Do you even want to Wasteland them? I really don't, right? I'm gonna take one more draw step here, because this way I can have a chance. Like, if they drew exactly, what's it called last turn? If they drew exactly Thoughtseize, I'd be sad. But, Looting's a good pickup. Guess I'll start by casting Looting here. Gives us something to do with these bad cards. Ditch, Punishing Fire here, I think. Then I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Deathrite Shaman and then Wasteland this Cloud Post. Next turn, we can go Thoughtseize you plus Grove, pick some fires back up. I think Burrow's Charm's a pretty good card. Take a look at what you got over there. Have you drawn any spells? I did draw a spell. Look at that. Alright, so they've got Eldrazi Temple, double Vesuva. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here, right? Because I could make a red mana with this Deathrite Shaman and then pick all 3 of my fires back up. They find something scary here. I'd be a little bit sad if they found a Thoughtseize, Reality Smasher. That's not a big deal. Go ahead and exile that, make a red mana. We need to do this before we trigger the Punishing Fires because these are not a mana ability, or Deathrite Shaman is not a mana ability. Let's just grab all of these. Remember, the single Grove triggers all 3 of the Punishing Fires, so we can get all of them back this way. So I'll flip this into play. Play this, Edict them. We're not in a very good spot here. Opponent's deck does have a lot of air in it, but they also have a lot of gas. I think I'm just passing here. Gonna eat my own Thoughtseize up. Our deck doesn't actually have that many Wastelands in it. We only have 2 copies of Wasteland, so we're pretty fortunate to have hit the one that we found. Red Monolith, sure. So their hand is Vesuva currently. Just gaining so much health. Grab my Scrubland just in case we draw Lingering Souls. Exile my Thoughtseize. Drain you for 2. Not that that accomplishes much. I'm going to start by flashing back Faithless Looting here. See what we hit. You know, their last card's a land. I'd love to hit a Rabblemaster. Perfect. Go ahead and plus this, discard this Thoughtseize. So Rabblemaster's the perfect hit here because we need to apply pressure to my opponent before they can draw out of this, because their deck is full of huge bombs, right? So we want to kill them before they can get a chance to stick those huge bombs, and Rabblemaster closes the door very quickly. Here's one on one of my stops today. And beep beep my combo Jeep. So flip this into play. And Rabblemaster hits for 1 this turn, and then he hits for 6 and then 8. So he's gonna close out in like 3 turns here. Well, some of their bombs, like a Reality Smasher is gonna attack Liliana. Some of their bombs are like 10 mana Ulamog, so we wouldn't be able to deal with those. But yeah, we can Liliana some of their bombs. It's probably an Ulamog, because that's on my... Oh, just an endless one. Deal, sweet. Abrupt Decay. Alright, so how much damage do I have here? If I edict them, these deal... Yeah, okay, I'm just going to edict them. I'm edicting them here because I want to use my mana to deal direct damage to my opponent. Actually, I probably want to Abrupt Decay this Grim Monolith, right? They only have 7 mana otherwise, and I could probably beat anything that costs 7 mana with the cards in my hand and just racing. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this down, actually. Yeah, I could Decay Endless one. We're just going to, like, kill them on my untap, right? Yeah, we just, like, don't want to get Ulamogged. That's really frustrating. I thought we could beat anything that wasn't Ulamog there. So all his dust is pretty good. Pretty good. Think I'm just passing here. Just gonna like let them gain 1, and then I'll pick up my 3 punishing fires here, and then we'll start next turn with Faithless Looting. Yes, I could also... how close are we to burning them out here? We'd end step, go like... Nah, I probably just want a Faithless Looting. Hey, bravo Gun Bunny, with that brand new $4.9 a month subscription. I really appreciate that, as always. Subs are the best way you can support my content here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Game's been, win or lose, this game's been a good example of like why these Faithless Lootings are great. I'm pretty happy with the service they provide. Play this out, crack it. Grab a Bayou here. Really matter. Hey, Andrew, manually renewing my Prime sub is super annoying. Well, thank you for doing it, bud. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perfect. Alright, maybe we can get no whammied for a couple more turns here. Play my Dark Confidant out. Go ahead. It's a shame we were one land off of being able to play Rabblemaster there. I guess there's a world where Bob kills us here, so maybe I shouldn't have played him. There's a world where Bob kills us here. Although they should be dead next turn, right? I attack them for 3 here. I bolt them to... Oh, you know what's gonna suck? It's gonna really suck when they Reality Smasher us next turn, right? Gonna really suck when we get Reality Smashed here. Can you just like draw a brick, please? Sure. Pulse you in response. My chat widget wasn't working. I've had a long, frustrating day, and I just was not in the mood to try and make it work nicely. God, they're like 1 point of health too high to be able to punishing fire them out of this game. I think I leave the Bob back. Bob back. Oh, I could have looting for a bolt. Yeah, you're right. Oh, wait, that's still... No, that's not quite lethal now, right? Because I messed up. God, if they draw out of this, I deserve to lose. We could have let on looting for bolt, yep. We're not dead to Smasher. Yeah, I should have looting before I made any decisions there. And we'd have shipped with Bob too and just killed them. Good line. Anoronics, good line. Alright, we got there anyways. I don't know that we deserved to win that one, but we did. Rabblemaster has been so impressive in this deck. Really, really good. Believe it or not, I don't appear to have any sideboard cards for whatever our opponent is doing. It's probably a bolt out matchup. Certainly a Kolaghan command matchup. Or Sylvan Library. Because in order to get Punishing Fire back, we have to give them a point of health, so they would have gone up to 6, and then Fire plus Bolt only deals 5 total, so it wouldn't have been lethal. Teeg takes all his dust off the table? Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess Teeg taking all his dust is, like, kind of reasonable. He turns off... They have some expensive mana rocks, too. Yeah, it could be in for some Teeg. Just trim some of these fires. Like, leaving some fires for, like, reach and, like... Faithless Looting value is fine. Alright, yeah, I'd be in for this. That seems fine. I'd buy that for $1. Is Inquisition worse than Duress? No, they're about the same, I think. Inquisition versus Duress. I guess this really doesn't... This hits like Endless One, right? And maybe they have Matter Reshaper in their deck. I don't think either are particularly impressive. They play magic cards, so ain't that the truth? I should probably mulligan this. Game this doesn't make red mana. Set a second land or a fetch land, it'd be easy to keep, but a lot of things that make it just not quite good enough. Okay, it's like not exciting, but it's fine. Wish we had a discard spell. Yeah, I think so. I think it's just that hand's just a little bit. It was really soft to a Chalice of the Void for one-on-one, which this just an Eldrazi Mimic deal. We both are punishing fires like a professional. So we'll probably kill this on 2, like Liliana Edict on 3 potentially. I want to just kill this with fire. For 3, open to find another land here. Ding. Be a little sad when we get smushered next turn, but this is pretty good against most things here. Just getting her on the table and start getting some value going. Especially since we have like another fire in hand in the Grove already. They don't have a fatty boom here. We're gonna be in a pretty good spot. They have a smusher. We're gonna be up a creek without a paddle. Just a matter reshaper. In the end, does it even matter? Doesn't even matter anymore. The most important thing here is the fact that that put my opponent to 0 cards in hand is kind of a big thing for us. I think I just want to go Shaman into Dark Confidant here and let them kill this Liliana. I feel like she's mostly stayed or welcome. Could trade these. Nah, if I was gonna do that, I'd just Punishing Fire that. Badlands is a good hit. I'm gonna go ahead and smash for 2 here. I want to flash back these souls, probably. I guess if I'm flashing back the souls, then I should have attacked with the Deathrite Shaman, since I can't bring back both Punishing Fires anyways. Got Reality Smusher. I suppose with the powers of my creatures combined, I could trade for this Reality Smusher. That's probably ideal. Probably just like stack block plus Punishing Fire. Should let damage happen first here, so that way they can't kill one of my creatures in response. We're gonna take 4 here. So maybe letting the Liliana die was bad. I could see that being the case. Okay, and Shaman. Loop the Shaman into play. Turn on Psycho Smurf. I don't know. I don't like to make promises. It's like it's tough to know what the schedule is going to be and who's going to send what and how far out other things are. So I don't like to say if or when we're going to get to things, then I look like a liar if we don't get to them. Sure, you have a Mimic. I think I want to just kill this, right? Hey, Amped Phil with the $38 donation. Thank you, bud. My dashboard say, little jump the line democracy in Hooglandia for banned humans. Feel free to make any change you would like. Keep up the good work and smash indie if you go. Amped Phil, would you prefer to see that before or after Jace is legal? Banned humans. That democracy like that is why I don't make promises, just so people understand. Democracy like that is why I don't make promises. Thank you for the donation. So I'll pop one of these back up, and I'm probably going to be a little bit meaty about reading the chat for the next couple of minutes, because I do need to try and focus on this game. We're only in game 2, and we could possibly play a third game. Make sure. And so, like, this is a good example of, like, why I potentially should have kept the Liliana too. Like, the Liliana could be pressuring their hand while all this is going on as well. My Dark Confidant's generating card advantage for us, but, like, we are kind of just treading water here. We'd kind of like to a fetch land or a Wasteland. Wasteland would be great, so we could, like, use our Deathrite Shaman for mana. The Sylvan Library here. Lingering Souls is pretty decent. I can cast Lingering Souls plus play Punishing Fire this turn. Yeah, I'm not gonna go, Dan. I'd have to test Modern more, and I just have no desire to test this format that doesn't exist anymore. I'm gonna go to Cincinnati, I think. Alright, so I'm gonna kill one of these with fire, and then I'm gonna trade a spirit token for the other. Hey, Craig Fur, 213 subscription. Thanks for sharing that Amazon Prime. I appreciate you sending your fun money this way again this month. Wasteland, please. Fetchland, Wasteland. Ew. Alright, well, let's send this Thoughtseize upstairs and see what we got. All is dust, yep. Let's just nip that one right in the bud, shall we? Waste you off of that one. I'm gonna gain 2 life with this Deathrite Shaman and return some Punishing Fires to my hand here, I think. Crack you for 3. I think I'm gonna be playing Legacy in Cincinnati. Thorn of Amethyst, yeah, that's fine. That's really funny that they brought in that card against me. Mustn't have a lot going on. I guess I'm a Punishing Fire deck and they saw like Faithless Looting and stuff, but that seems kind of loose. Bobby! Alright, the second Wasteland's probably gonna lock this up for us. You know, fingers crossed. Second Wasteland's gonna do some good work here. Flash that back. The red zone some more here. No, I don't think so. I think I'd rather just keep developing my board and pressuring them. So, kill this guy with fire. Back for these ones. Put them down to 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have 3. GG's opponent. Why hasn't Deathrite gained any loyalty? I mean, he's been activating a lot, right? You'd think he'd have some loyalty by now. Alright, let's hop back on in here, shall we? That decklist feels sweet still. Faithless Looting is a great magic card. We'll see if the Mardu deck has legs long-term in Modern, especially with Jace being introduced, but the Faithless Lootings have been really impressive in this deck. The team events are interesting. Definitely some of the more fun Magic tournaments I've played in. I think it's more beneficial to play faster decks at team events. I think it's, like most decks are richer, beneficial just like playing the decks you're comfortable and familiar with. It's mostly just been a combination of like getting over being sick and like little things not working. Like my chat on screen randomly not working. I think in all honesty, what a lot of people undervalue is that playing decks that tend to be a little bit proactive in any tournament tends to be a better, put you in a better position to do well in those tournaments, I think. So lands came up really short. Neely, you should look at the, they post the full day 2 metagame breakdowns at those tournaments, and 2 team events ago, lands was really popular, but this past one, it didn't have many results, so it didn't convert well at all. Yeah, mine was mostly a 24-hour bug, I think, knock on whatever this desk is made out of. Oh, baby, this is Jarvis U, and he was streaming High Tide, so I'm going to keep this hand hoping to draw lands against High Tide. And if he's not playing High Tide, I'll feel silly, but I'm going to keep triple 1-mana discard against High Tide. Oh, baby. And he kept triple High Tide, man. Well then. Huh. What are we supposed to take here? Are you supposed to take all their High Tides away? I mean, the deck's named High Tide, right? Right, in. It's a shame we're not playing Cabal Therapy. Flusterstorm, rude. Jarvis lost to Zoo earlier. We can't lose. Got on Project Swamp. These Abrupt Decays are pretty bad in this matchup. Brainstorm, what I like to see. And take his Brainstorm away. In retrospect, our keep wasn't great, but I'd do it again. I don't think he was playing Candelabra. I don't remember. I didn't look at his deck list. I had him on in the background while I was doing the dishes earlier. Well, we can draw land. Perfect. Perfect. The perfect perfects, if you would. This is my Dark Confidant. My Dark Confidant's amazing. 8 out of 10 would keep again. Ain't that the truth? I found a use for these Abrupt Decays. We're going to discard them to this Liliana the Veil. End step Brainstorm. Oh, Jarvis. Jarvis, you know what they say about people who end step Brainstorm. It isn't nice things, Jarvis. It is not nice things. Turn 4 is the go-off turn. Yep, he's got 2 High Tides, which is pretty good. So he needs like 4th land, turnabout, Well, I guess if he has 4th land, he can just go High Tide into Spiral. So he just needs like 4th land Spiral with the 2 High Tides. I'm hoping based on that tank that we're not going to be dead here. If it looks like we're going to be dead, I'm going to go get something to drink. Am I dead? Ban response. REP are the first 3. Alright, I'm gonna go get something to drink. Enjoy High Tide. Oh, they don't even need the land. They just have Turnabout into Spiral. They could just have Turnabout into Spiral. What a tilt. Oh, he doesn't have it. He's digging for it. Dig, Jarvis, dig. Dig, Jarvis, dig. They found it. We're dead. We're dead, chat. Things were looking so good for us. We were so close. So close and so far away. Alright, I'm gonna go get something to drink. Enjoy High Tide. Oh, why did I have to make a decision? Sorry, I was supposed to get to F6 and walk away, Jarvis. Come on. Why did I have to make a decision? Come on, Moto. They were all the same. There wasn't even a foil version in there for me to make a decision with. What a tilt. I was expecting to come back and be dead. Look how nice these cards are. Aren't these cards nice? Brainstorm? Did you brick? Don't play with me. On the bright side, my opponent is playing Reality Smasher, so the league is free. I had this Rabblemaster promo when he was in Standard. This Rabblemaster made me a lot of money. Alright, we're dead, right? That's just like brain freeze. Alright, alright, I got you. I got you. Alright, so I'm gonna bring in... We've got some good ones, huh? We've got some good ones for the high... We are ready for the High Tide matchup, chat. You could say we've got Jarvis's number painted and pretty here. Oh, I want this Sylvan Library in my deck too, actually. Oh, it's not gonna let me resubmit, right? Yeah, because Magic Online doesn't let you resubmit currently. This piece of software is such garbage. So note to all the boys and girls out there, I can't actually click the submit deck button again here. So really think before you click submit, because once you've submitted, that's what you get. So I don't get my Sylvan Library for this game, even though I really want it. It would be really good here. But I messed up. Jarvis, I don't blame him for leaving. This is miserable. Man, if this hand had a black source, it would be so good. Alright, I'm in. Sign me up. No, you can't, Dan. It doesn't let you resubmit again. That's the bug. That's the bug. We've got the classic Thalia into choke combo here. We are playing a combo deck on this side of the table. Half surgical, can't lose, ain't that the truth? Force of Will, that's rude. Try this one. Am I dead? We could die here. We could die. We are currently lacking a threat, so that is a thing. Faithless Looting. Okay, I'm gonna lead on Inquisition and see what they have. Leading on this first means if they have another Flusterstorm, we can pay for it. Cunning Wish, Turnabout, Intuition. I almost feel like I just wanna rip their Cunning Wishes out of their deck, like leave them choked on win conditions. It's probably not unreasonable. I'll go ahead and Faithless Looting and see what we find. I'm gonna ditch these two and pass for now. I'd like my Dark Confidant to get into play. I assume they have a way to combo that's not the Cunning Wish. Their deck would be pretty bad otherwise. Alright, I'm just gonna keep not pushing this Liliana up since we keep drawing gas here. I'm gonna play Bob out because I don't think they can kill us since their lands don't untap right now. Like, hopefully next turn we rip a 1-mana spell or a land. Fuck, am I dead? Oh yeah, they have a turnabout too? Ah, damn it. I should have played this. I wasn't thinking about how close we were to being dead. If they ripped a High Tide naturally. Yep. Yeah, I deserve this. They have so many turnabouts too. Yep. Yeah, I should have just played Thalia. That was greedy. And just wasn't thinking or counting. Been a bad day for not thinking or counting. Play loose, get punished. Man. The upside to having my chat like this on screen is people get to see in real time how many people I actually ban every stream. Answer, it's a lot. Yeah, so 10 out of 10 should just play the Thalia out, and then between Thalia plus the choke, plus like the Dark Confidant the following turn, we probably would have been in good shape. Yeah, we're pretty unlikely to win at this point. There's definitely a world where they could brick those, like I'm gonna make them click through it. It's unfortunate too, because we're 6-0 with this deck before I punted this. Turnabout gives them a bunch of mana here. Hmm. Yeah, if we just put Thalia down. They draw exactly one of their 3 high tides. And they should only have 3 in their deck post-board, because they should board it out against surgical decks, but I guess there's a chance they had 4. I mean, like, this match wasn't really karma. Like, it's really easy to look at this game and go, oh, Jarvis got lucky and drew the high tide, but, like, the actual answer is that, like, I should have played the Thalia. Like, that's the difference between, like, good players and mediocre players, is that, like, if you're mediocre, you can just blame everything on your bad luck, but if you're a good player, you can look at it and go, well, I could have played the game in a way to, like, minimize the number of outs that my opponent had to win the game. Yeah, Teeg's very good. Yeah, like I said, I like the white splash in this deck is very, very valuable. Feels like it does good work. Like, we will kind of want Lingering Souls in the main deck anyways with the Faithless Lootings, and then we have the Teegs and the Thalias out of the sideboard for these spell-based combo decks. If I would have been a little bit more aggressive with my Thalia in that game when I was paying attention. Would have been better off. Yeah, right? So I had some wanker on I should just not read Reddit thread. Some wanker on a Reddit thread the other day was just like, Hogland never admits when he's wrong. I was like, man, you asshole. Have you ever watched our stream? We talk about the things we do that are bad all the time. People just get, I think a big part of like what makes those people like that get so offended is that I have a pretty long history of like pointing out things that I like and dislike in formats like Legacy and Modern, and people invest so much money into formats like Legacy that it's very easy for people to get this kind of wrapped up emotional investment that like, well, he's criticizing Legacy and I'm heavily invested in Legacy, so he's criticizing this thing I've invested in, so he's criticizing me because of my investment. They take it very personally when you talk about things that are just like less than perfect. Nah, it's Jarvis. I punted that so bad. I had a Thalia the turn I played the Dark Confidant, so if I would have played the Thalia, you wouldn't have been able to combo us that turn. I forgive you. It was my fault. I'm the reason you were able to do bad things to me. I mean, that's not his fault, and like he should expect that there's discard. Like maybe he doesn't know that I have hate bears in my board, but like it's not a stretch. All right, Island Preordain usually means a combo deck, so probably want to lead on Thoughtseize here. I guess actually, what did they do with their top bottom? Literally boarded 0 cards, sounds about right. I think, and I don't know if you're ever going to play more Spiral Tide, Jarvis, I think you're supposed to board out 1 high tide against anyone that could bring in Surgical against you. And you Surgical Wish, they're mostly cold now. Interesting. I almost did that, but I just assumed you'd have a win condition in your main deck. But I guess that's good to know that usually they don't. They put 1 card on top, but it's probably still right to Thoughtseize on 1 here. Hey, Schmidt with the Twitch Prime subscription. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way this month. I really appreciate that. Brainstorm, Flusterstorm, but all my other cards are bad. Huh. So they left 1 card on top of their deck here. I could definitely see an argument for just like ripping the sneak attack out of their hand, but I kind of want to take the Brainstorm just because like the rest of their hand is pretty mediocre and they need a red source for this sneak attack, so they like need multiple things regardless of what I take here, and the Brainstorm helps them find multiple things. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Brainstorm. I could see an argument for just like playing it smart and taking the sneak attack here, but I think I like taking their cantrips. I don't really care about the rest of their cards. Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable to just snipe the cantrip there. You could maybe make an argument that because I have Liliana in my hand, I could take the sneak attack, because then if they show intel, I can just edict them. I'm now at 12 months. Get rid of these stupid hex sub badges. Thank you. Welcome back, Maddie. So, and again, Rabblemaster is hopefully going to shake the trees here. We're going to crack this fetch, play the Rabblemaster, and then attack them for 2 next turn, which feels pretty good. And then we'll be attacking for 7 the following turn. So again, Rabblemaster just gives our opponent such a very small window in which that they can actually draw out of what they have to kill us. Just apply so much pressure. How do I connect to the Discord? There we go. Thanks, JW. Sorry for the ugly chat tonight, folks. For those that are just joining us, my integrated thing wasn't working. So we've got them dead in 2 here, potentially. Oh no, is this a show and tell? Alright, well, hopefully it's an Emrakul. No Gristlebrand, no Gristle... I guess they could just be putting the sneak attack into play. Yeah, it's just an Emrakul! Woo! Please don't have a Force of Will. Please don't have a Force of Will. I was kind of... We wanted to draw a land there, because that way if they had Force, we could, we play the second Liliana. Oh, yeah! Just get him! Get him, Rabbles! Get him! Alright, in response to this trigger, I'm going to exile their show and tell here, I think. Now I'm going to exile their Brainstorm. That's a better card. I don't really care if they redraw show and tell. And now they're going to be dead next turn, right? We're hitting them for 6 down to 10, and we hit them for 8 plus 2. See, I got them dead next turn. This card is so good. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Rabble-labba-ding-dong. It's like a main deck Pyroclasm or something obnoxious. So right now they have Sneak Attack, Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, so we literally can't get attacked this turn. Because we know they can't have Petal plus Monster. Rabble, 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 rabble. Just hoping I click through my combat step. The classic Moto out. Hope they click through their combat step. Do do do. 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 Hey, 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 do do do. Hey, hey. Our board plan is pretty clean here to take out a lot of this. Stealing game 1 here is pretty big for us, because we have a lot of cards that are pretty bad in our main deck for this matchup. Get a bunch of tools we get to bring in onto the board here again. Do I want all of these cards that I just brought in? Are chokes good enough here? Are chokes good enough here? Maybe they're not. Maybe I don't want both of them. Choke is like a stoner. Yeah, choke is okay. Like what other, like I'm at 60, you can't see it. I'm at 61 cards right now. This is 62. So like if I want to trim. Do I want, I probably want all my Faithless Lootings. I think I want all of these cards still. Yeah, just play around Blood Moon. I'm worried about them mooning me. Maybe. I do have these Golgari Charms, which are nice. Those kill Blood Moon. Yeah, Surgical's okay. I can see an argument for not bringing in all three. It's really... Surgical's really nice in this matchup. I like Surgical because I have 4 Liliana of the Veil. Because if I can Surgical their sneak attacks, Liliana can edict them off of show and telling me, which is usually good. So I think on that logic, I'm just going to cut these chokes, at least on the draw. Maybe if we go to game 3, I'll work in the chokes on the play. I'm not sure, Rogue. I need to think about that. I need to test versus Miracles is the deck I would want to test against. I think Miracles might be a tough matchup for this deck, which is why I put the chokes on the sideboard. So I guess that's pretty good. Wasteland is usually meaningful disruption in this matchup. We can fetch a basic swamp on 1, and we have Rabblemaster for some pressure. We've got like 2 pieces of disruption, plus a threat, plus can play through. Leyline could be an issue. Yeah, that's fair too. My Golgari Charm is very good. It just like covers a lot of the bases in this matchup that we care about, right? I really like Golgari Charm. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted for Christmas. Sneak and Show doesn't line up well against Delver, traditionally speaking, so it's mostly fallen by the wayside. Wow, that's aggressive. Okay. First pitching Spell Pierce. What do I fetch for next? I think I might just play the Wasteland or the Grove. So that way I don't have to commit to what I'm fetching. I'm not sure if I want to get a Bayou or a Scrubland. Huh. Yeah, I think I just want to play the Dark Confidant. I could like be kind of defensive and like try and Faithless Looting into another discard spell, but I think that's playing a little bit too scared, and I just want to like get some pressure onto the table, get some cards flowing here. Sir Teaglesworth and Thalia. Good for me. Alright, so what are we doing here? I think I'm going to start by... I think I definitely want to play one of my Hate Bears this turn, rather than play Goblin Rabblemaster. So, yeah, I'm going to attack with Bob. Greentron, Maddie. You should play Greentron. Do I want a looting here? Because if I'm going to play Thalia, I need to looting first. Yeah, I'm going to looting first and give him a health. I think that's fine. I think I'm going to keep the backup Thalia in case they have like a Pyroclasm here. God, we're just so smart and thin. If they miss a land drop, oh, I discarded my Shaman. I think I'm just gonna stick the Rabblemaster here. That's kind of appealing. All right, I'm a liar. Since we drew another Dark Confidant, I'm gonna go Thalia Dark Confidant. Just like put this board back out here again, since they're missing a land drop here. God, that's good. All right, what they pitch? They pitched show and tell deal. We get a land next turn. We had a green or a red source. We can go Rabblemaster plus Teeg. Inquisition. Yeah, I'm just gonna spot check here, see what we've got. Leyline plus Gristlebrand, sure. I'm gonna crack this fetch so that way I don't give them a point of health with this Grove of the Burnwillows. Bad lands here. Shove this Rabblemaster down their throat. Coffees for closers, and Rabblemaster's getting himself a cup of joe. That's very good. Shut that door hard and fast. If we don't get Clasm this turn, we should be able to close this out real quick. That's good for us. Thoughtseize. Don't mind if I do. What if I take your Gristlebrand away? I'm not going to cast the Gaddock Teeg because their out is Pyroclasm anyways, so just Wasteland them off of this, and then cast the Sylvan Library and pass the turn. I think this deck is really good, JW. I think the Jund Shell in Modern was already pretty reasonable, and I think this deck does a good job of improving on it. I think Rabblemaster is great, and I think Faithless Looting does a really good job of smoothing out some of the awkwardness these non-Brainstorm decks have in Legacy. If we win this game, we'll be 2-1. Did they find the Clasm? Nope. Eights are dead. Rabble, rabble, rabble. We punted to Mr. Jarvis U, who was in here earlier playing High Tide, but we beat the other two. Why play Faithless Looting when you can play Burning Inquiry? Asking the real questions. Why indeed? Because I'm a scrub. Turn 1 Inquisition. So, a question a lot of people had asked when they looked at this deck list, there's kind of pre-programmed to like do things Jund has always done, and like Jund in Legacy often plays Hymn to Torok in Thoughtseize as opposed to Inquisition in Thoughtseize. And I really just think there's something valuable to be said about just curving out consistently in these decks. So I'm favoring playing 7 pieces of 1 mana discard, because just curves like this just win so many games in this format. Just like turn 1 disrupt you, stick must answer threat, stick must answer threat. One of these two is going to run away with the game is the idea. I also feel like you just don't need the extra grindy hedge in a deck like this. You'd much rather just have cards that are better against the faster combo decks. I'd much rather have Inquisition against a lot of combo decks rather than Hymn to Torok. Not only is it less mana, but it also gives me more precision. Are we dead? Like Black-Red Reanimator? Could be Storm, I guess, too. Yeah, I think Rabblemaster is reasonable. Rabblemaster Jund's put up a couple results in Modern here and there. I assume we're dead here. Probably took a second to load up the stream there at the start to confirm that we didn't have a Force of Will in our hand. I'm not sure if I want Choke against the Storm decks or not. It's probably not good against Tess. It's probably fine against Ant, but Tess it probably leaves some to be desired. Definitely want these out. I want these out. Punishing Fire is pretty bad. It's just a pretty clean what we're doing in, what we're doing out in these matchups. I think I'd bring in Choke against Ant, especially on the play, but I think against Tess, I just never want it. Yep. I love these Golgari Charms. They're so good. They just do so much in so many different places. Yeah, seems great. Turn 1 discard, turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Rabblemaster, hopefully. I mean, to praise them while simultaneously backhanding them, their updated policy on how they're going to handle publishing deck lists is less shitty than their absolutely horrible shitty plan that they had previously. It sucks less than it previously sucked. It is still terrible, but it sucks less than it previously did. Alright, so what are we supposed to do here? Their hand has a little bit of everything in it, right? It's got mana, it's got some cantrips, it's got a Burning Wish and an Ad Nauseam. Yeah, they've moved from like a 1 out of 10 to like a 3 out of 10. And really just like the way they described it in their post just showed like their attitude is garbage about it. Like they blame data for their formats being bad as opposed to like owning up to their mistakes and being like, our formats are bad because we made bad decisions. I think we're supposed to take the Wish here. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's probably the Wish. I was leaning towards a Wish or a cantrip. Wish is like the card we kind of care about, right? I can see that going either way. Yeah, I think it's between Brainstorm or the Wish. By cantrip, I meant Brainstorm because it's more powerful, the two. Wow, we're getting pretty rewarded for them not playing out their Lotus Petals. This Thalia will be decent. Hopefully this Thalia buys us some time. We get a land next turn, and we can just play Rabblemaster and start applying pressure right away. It's probably going to be a Brainstorm in response. They didn't have another land last turn. Yeah, kind of. But what that doesn't assume War's Worth is that people desperately want to play decks that Jace is good in and Bloodbraid Elf is good in. Like you need to factor in human desire. Like, there's a reason why people endlessly show up to tournaments playing blue-white control and Jeskai control, even though those decks are, like, hot garbage. Like, people show up and play those decks because those are the decks people love to play. Because regardless of what people say, the fair interactive decks in Magic's are the ones that are most popular. Like, that's what a lot of people love to show up and play. Here's an interesting question. Am I supposed to Thoughtseize them next turn if I hit the land? It's kind of close. It's kind of close. What's going on, Jace? Yeah, that's fair as well. We're definitely going to see more Bloodbraid Elves than Jaces at the start, at least due to things being cost prohibitive. All right, so we hit the land. What did they do? What did they do with this ponder? What they did with the ponder kind of determined. Chose not to shuffle the ponder. They didn't I think no shuffle ponder means I'm pretty obligated to Thoughtseize. If they shuffled the ponder, I think I'd roll the dice and Rabblemaster them, but I think because they kept on the ponder. Ooh, that hand is scary. That hand is scary. Huh. I just take the Infernal Tutor, right? This is net even. This is +1 mana. This is +1 mana, so they're gonna have total of 4 mana next turn. I'm gonna take their Infernal Tutor away here. There could be an argument there for just taking their Dark Ritual as well, since that's like one of their only ways to make mana. I tweeted a picture of the Blood Sun depths list. Yeah, someone sent in a donation deck list for a Temur Kiki deck list that looks kind of sweet. Yeah, that's true, Rogue. That's true. Interesting that they're not using the probe here. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and throw Rabblemaster into play and hope to run him down. Remember, every point of damage we deal to our opponent is 1 point of health worse that their ad nauseum is when they eventually go off with that. So I think it's worth it to just get in our chip shots now early. And like, if they can't combo here, their ad nauseum is basically unplayable next turn. I like this Shun deck a lot. One of the 2 decks I'm considering for Cincinnati at the end of next month. I don't know when Wooster is. Am I dead? Are there goblins? Worcestershire sauce? Inquisition of Kozilek. Don't mind if it does. Well, this one is just a very easy Dark Ritual. I would take the ad nauseum if that was a legal target, but it's not because it's Inquisition. Now we'll just smash them down to 6. I didn't cast the Faithless Looting there because it costs 2 under Thalia. And then hopefully we get a turn 1 in the next game. If you're not okay losing without getting a turn, you really can't play this deck. It's just gonna leave you a salty dog in Legacy. Horchester. Uh-oh. Chain of Vapor. You may sacrifice a land. No, I will lightly decline. So they have Probe, so they're hoping to get there off this Probe. I mean, they're dead next turn, so they might as well go for it, right? Am I dead? I'm not. That's sweet. We got a game off of them. I definitely think these matches against, like, Tess and Belcher and stuff like that are probably pretty bad for this deck, right? Like, sometimes they just have it, you die, and then it's like, you know, whatever. But I think against, like, the, like, Ant and Sneak and Show and stuff like that, the, like, turn 2 combo decks, we have, like, 9 pieces of 1 mana discard post board, plus the 4 Hate Bears and the Surgical, so I think we have an okay mix of disruption for beating those. I don't think 6 lands Thoughtseize is gonna pass the test. This hand's keepable. Not exciting, but fine. Dark Confidant's great. I would love to, if I get a turn 1, I would love to go Duress into Dark Confidant into Liliana. If I get a turn 1. Nope, not getting a turn 1. You know, them's the beats. It's like have their ad nauseum naturally again. Nope. I guess they had, what's the word I'm searching for? They had double LED the first game. They didn't have that ad nauseum naturally. I mean, I've got decks that Goldfish turn 1s in Modern too, and Goldfish turn 2s all the time. But again, like, when people talk about Legacy, Legacy certainly generates, like, some of the most deep... Like, Legacy generates a wide range of games. Like, it generates a lot of games that are, like, really deep and intricate and have lots of complex decisions, but it also generates games like these where just, like, what, we died on turn 1, games 1 and 3 after losing the die roll? And like, and like when I point that out, that's where like some neckbeard that like loves their Legacy cards more than like life itself points out. They're like, well, you could be playing Force of Will if you were smart and thin. And it's just like, well, even when you play Force of Will, you don't always have that card in your opening hand, especially in game 1s. And it just, even when you have access to those things, you still just die sometimes. That's how it goes. And like, that's okay, it's a feature, but again, you want to be honest with yourself about what the format is. It's like, yeah, you have some tools, but even when you have access to those tools, a lot of the time you still just die. When your opponent is running good, you're not going to get there. So we're 2-2 now. The match I lost to Jarvis, we definitely punted, but that one there wasn't a whole lot we could do there. So, you know, just gotta roll with the punches, accept it for what it is. I actually got a pretty good neck beard going on right now. I need to shave before I go teach on Wednesday. Christy got caught late at work, so I didn't have to teach last week. I had to call in, so I didn't shave. The neck beard's real gnarly right now. I would love to probably Deathrite Shaman on 1 in the dark, I think, here. Yeah, but MTG bot's wrong there. It says I'm 1-2 and I'm 2-2, so. And like, I really enjoy Legacy. Legacy's probably my favorite constructed format right now, but I just think like,
like that summary that I just gave, like that's just like a realistic approach about what the format is. Like I can enjoy Legacy and still be like realistic about like what goes into it. What do you have, Elves opponent? What do you have, Elves opponent? Do-do-do. Huh. This is like take Visionary, take Green Sun. Play second Deathrite. If that seems okay. Need to take Visionary, take Green Sun, play second Deathrite. That's probably a little bit hard for us if we don't get Grove online early. That's true. I could take the Wire White. I think I just like cutting them off of drawing cards here, just like let them see less cards overall. Because if I don't take, I'm obligated to take the Green Sun plus whichever of the two I don't want them to have, because the Green Sun's just gonna get the one for them that I don't want them to have. I probably want red here. That way when I draw a Grove, we can start killing all their nerds. I mean, it's not exactly moot if I hit a Grove, because taking my opponent's Visionary is extra good if we hit a Grove, because that one cantrips. Sure. So this lets them play all of their things, which is fine. It's like not a big deal. They hit an NO in these two draws. It's kind of a big deal. That's really frustrating. That's exactly what we didn't want to happen. Because now they're going to get to pick this Visionary back up with Wirewood Symbiote and draw multiple cards with it. Symbiote doesn't make our Punishing Fire worse, though, because I'm just going to kill the Symbiote. So we have Dryad Arbor. They're going to return this Visionary. Is this the last match of the night? No, I think I'm going to do a League with the Sunny Depths deck before we call it an evening. My goal was to do 2 leagues. They didn't return the Visionary to their hand. Okay, so that means they drew Natural Order and were dead. They had 2 draw steps. They were going to be Visionary plus Natural Order and we're dead. Good solid beats there. Weird. I don't know why. Maybe they just missed it. They weren't paying attention. I don't know why they wouldn't have returned the Visionary last turn. They missed drawing a card, right? Maybe their mana didn't line up right? Unsure. Maybe the mana lined up that it didn't matter for them. I'm bad at counting elf math. I haven't done it enough. Yeah, and at this point, this is a good example of why, like, I think this match is probably bad for us on average. The Elves deck is very good against these, like, fair mid-range decks. It's also very clunky, though. I played the Elves deck in a couple of leagues and a challenge event. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's about everything in Magic, right? Like, it's standard, modern, legacy. Like, if you don't have a deck you're enjoying playing, like, there's no reason to play the format. Like, all of Magic is pretty expensive. We need to hit, like, Punish. We need to hit, like, Grove right now. I mean, I guess if they keep bricking, they really can't do much to attack into our 1/2, so I guess I'm just gonna... Oh, they're gonna get to eat our Punishing Fire here, too. Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in. We're winning this game. Let's get Golgari Charms in my deck, and these Gaddock Teegs. The Sylvan Library. These Liliana the Veils are pretty bad. These Lingering Souls I could probably take or leave. Board out one of them. I'd rather have the Sylvan Library. Rest of this seems fine. I don't think Duress is very good. I think the 1-mana discard is fine. Thalia is not good enough. They're mostly creature spells. Yeah, maybe Rogue. Maybe we do. Seems so close to being reasonable if either of these were a fetch. It's pretty good. Rabblemaster. I'm gonna top that one, and I'm just not gonna fetch here on one. Yeah, I think I just want the Rabblemaster. That's really annoying. Grab Scrubland here because we did board in the Gaddock Teegs. Something to be aware of. Why? Weekly reminder of the question, why is Deathrite Shaman a 1/2? Ugh. Huh. Our cards look real bad. Yep. Maybe I'm just supposed to leave them that one since Golgari Charm cleans it up. Yeah, it's probably supposed to take a Nettle Sentinel or a Natural Order there. Yeah, that was wrong. Deathrite Shaman should be a 0/0. Ten out of 10 should have gobbled up that one. I should be able. It should. Deathrite Shaman should say all of your opponent's creatures gain provoke, so they can attack it directly. Those are actually two super good balances. Yeah. Okie doke. I don't know that my mistake ultimately mattered there.
I guess they would have played Wirewood Symbiote last turn. I'd have, yeah, it did, right? Because I would have taken the natural order that killed us there. Them's the beats. Them's the beats. I think I definitely punted 2 of the 3 that we lost there. I don't know if we would have necessarily won the third game against Elves, but definitely messed up that match that we lost to Jarvis. Nothing we could really do against the test matchup. Like, that's just going to be how the punches go sometimes with decks like these, the non-blue decks. I don't really necessarily change anything in these quickly moving forward. Like I mentioned earlier when we were playing that, I don't know if the chokes are better than like playing Red Elemental Blast necessarily, but I think I'd want to play against Miracles before I decided whether or not to take these out of my board. No, I don't think so. Elves isn't really a real deck in Legacy. It's pretty garbage tier. It's like a deck that's similar to this in that like it's kind of good against the fair decks, but like it's super inconsistent, and it's much worse against the combo decks than this is. Alright. Yeah, so anywho, I think next time we play this, I'm just going to run it back card for card again. Still pretty happy with this. A slightly tighter play, we probably finish with a 3-2 in that league. Which, you know, finishing 3-2 or better is about all you can expect. I love when people talk about, like, oh, this is a 5-0 deck. It's like, Magic has too much variance to expect anything better than a 3-2 most of the time. Gotta remember, it's a game where, like, the best players in the world have, like, a 65, maybe 70% win rate.